Update. My boyfriend's brother is asking us to break up or else he'll walk out of the family. Original post. I, 21 female, and my boyfriend, 21 male, have been together since we were 17. We have a healthy relationship, and I have a fantastic relationship with his family as well. I spent every Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then events in between with his family. His mom and I get along really well, and my boyfriend annoyingly complains about how she calls me more than him. Same with his father, who's been a second father figure to me. It always reminds me I'm more like a daughter to him than his son's girlfriend. My boyfriend has an older brother, 24 male, who I also get along with just fine, but is more kept to himself, so I don't know him as well as the rest. His older brother recently got himself a girlfriend, and actually the first time since I've met him as he had a girlfriend. This Halloween weekend was my boyfriend's parents' anniversary, and they invited me over, as usual, but also asked the brother to bring his girlfriend over for the first time. His girlfriend is the same age as me, so I was looking forward to meeting her. That Saturday, I arrived at my boyfriend's parents' place early, as me and his mother had plans to cook a large meal for everyone. That afternoon was mostly just me, my boyfriend, and his parents hanging out. The girlfriend came later in the evening with his brother. Right off the bat, she became overly comfortable with my boyfriend and his father. She said, "I didn't know all the men in your family are handsome," and gave both men a rather tight and long hug. She then made her way over to his mother, ignoring me completely and saying, "You're so pretty. Watch out though, your husband's on my radar." Immediately his mother turned to me and whispered, "I have a bad feeling about her." We stayed in the kitchen, but the kitchen looks into the living room, so we saw everything go down. The girlfriend sat on both my boyfriend's and his dad's lap when trying to talk to them, and both men seemed uncomfortable. Soon my boyfriend joined us in the kitchen and said, "I don't like her." I called her over to taste the pasta. Well, I like spicy food, but I didn't know if she could handle it. To which she took a bite and said, "It's good. I see why they keep bringing you around." That compliment felt backhanded, and I felt more uneasy with her. We sat up the dining table and it was time for dinner. My boyfriend's family usually says grace before the meal, and invited a girlfriend to lead today as she was a guest. The girlfriend accepted and happily thanked God for the food and all the members, intentionally leaving me out of the grace. I didn't mind too much, but my boyfriend and his mom looked at me with the "you saw that" look in their eyes. As the dinner moved along, my boyfriend's dad grilled her with questions about her life and this and that, something he did to me as well. She seemed like a decent girl from a decent background. After he was done, he started asking me about the things I was working on and my plans for graduate school. Before I could answer, she interrupted and started talking about her work and how much she hated it. I could tell my boyfriend's dad didn't really want to listen, as he gave dry responses back and then turned back to me and just asked how my family was doing. This trend went on the whole night, where every time I was acknowledged, she would interrupt me. Near the end of dinner, she jokingly said, "Be careful, David," the brother's name. "I might just leave you for Blake," my boyfriend's name. I'm at a point where I don't get jealous or annoyed at this type of stuff. So I went along and said, "Yeah, Blake, remember to invite me to the wedding when it happens." That seemed to be the breaking point for the girlfriend, as she started crying out and saying, "She's been trying to embarrass me the entire night." She then went on a ramble about how I'm hogging my boyfriend's family and making her look bad in front of them. Right after dinner, she dragged my boyfriend's brother out of the house with her and they left for the night. We invited them to stay over for the weekend. My boyfriend's family apologized to me for having to witness that, and we all chilled down to some drinks and kept the celebration going without them. The next day, my boyfriend's mother gets a call from the brother who seemed extremely pissed off. She put her phone on speaker so we all heard him talk. He said his girlfriend is really upset with me and his family. How she's now having doubts about him and their relationship. She says that as long as I'm involved in the family, she doesn't think that a relationship with him will work out. The brother then began to ask that I break up with my boyfriend, so his girlfriend would stop crying and finally have peace with their relationship. My boyfriend denied the request, so did his parents, to which the brother then said, "Either she's out of the family or I am. I don't want to end this relationship over someone who's not related to us in the first place." Since then, no one has been able to get a hold of him and is stressing his parents and my boyfriend out a lot. I feel guilty, but also confused on what to do. I don't want to break apart this family, but I love my boyfriend and his parents too. I don't know what to do or how to process any of this. Now for the top advice before reading the update. So he leaves, sees what a train wreck she is, and comes back in a year or 3, tail between his legs. He's got some growing up to do. A year or 3. No way he lasts that long, unless he knocks her up. If that happens, then he is well and truly screwed. Don't disagree with the basic advice to let the brother run off with his ticking bomb. Just wait for him to crawl back with his face blown off. Yeah, she's going to isolate him. The emotional mistreatment has already started and will get worse. I don't want to end this relationship over someone who's not related to us in the first place. And yet is willing to end it because of his girlfriend. Dude needs to take a chill pill and dump the overly dramatic twat. You hope the brother sees sense and dump this crazy lady. Don't you dare feel guilty. You did nothing wrong. And give your boyfriend's mom and dad a hug. It's wonderful when you find a great family. Sounds like they got your back. Don't engage. The girlfriend is clearly disliked by the entire family. The brother is clearly desperate for the first person that showed him some attention. She was grossly inappropriate and made everyone uncomfortable. Leave yourself out of it. The brother will stay away, realize she's insane, and not worth having zero friends or family for. And now for the update. Thank you for the response. I feel reassured knowing I'm not selfish to stay with the family, and I plan on keeping things how it is and not letting my boyfriend's brother or girlfriend take control of the situation. An update on the situation that sort of gives me more clarity on why everything happened. This morning my boyfriend's mother got a hold of his brother and we all went over again and sat down together. No girlfriend this time. The brother seemed to calm down a lot more and apologized for the commotion the other night. However, he's still backing up on my boyfriend and us breaking up for the betterment of his relationship. There was a lot of back and forth between my boyfriend and his brother. A lot of what he simply chose to stay out of. His brother got angry again. And right before he left, he said, "You can shove that ring up your bottom, don't think about inviting me to the wedding." He left after that, and the room got tense. So my boyfriend opened up to me about something. Basically, he planned to propose to me. Not now, but he bought the ring a few months ago and told his family, including his brother, about it. He said the tension between his brother and him started the moment he told him he planned to propose to me. I don't know if I should be happy my boyfriend wants to marry or upset that this was sorta over a ring. Now I'm still confused on the girlfriend's behavior, but I think I can safely say that beyond a girlfriend, a big reason the brother was upset was over the fact me and my boyfriend are gonna get married. That's the update for me. Also, a lot of people ask about my boyfriend's older brother's dating history, and I found out this was the first time he dated someone since he was 16. He's 24 now. Anyways, that's all. My boyfriend is bummed out that he had to spill the beans on his plan, but we talked it out and he said he's gonna officially propose with a ring in his planned time. I'm gonna stay with him. I'm gonna keep my distance from that family though for the time being, just in case any more mishaps happen. So brother and girlfriend are both insecure, jealous types. Crazy squared. That's going to be fun for them. You've definitely got the right idea, Opie. Best to stay away from them as much as possible going forward. God help us when they have kids. That will be the next pawn used to make the family bend to their will. You don't need to distance yourself from his family because 1, they like you, and 2, when you get married, they'll officially become your family too, although you pretty much are already. As for petty girlfriend, I'd suggest that if she dares to show her face again, you kill her with kindness. It'll drive her insane. Your boyfriend's brother may be acting like a toddler, but he's still an adult. And if he wants to throw away his family for her, then that's his choice and nothing to do with you, your boyfriend, or anyone else. Let him reap what he sow. It might be the only way he learns that the world doesn't revolve around him getting access to a vagina. Came here to say exactly this. Don't distance yourself from the family. It's not their fault that a brother and his girlfriend are acting like children. My husband's brother tried many dirty tricks to break us up. He had a reason though. He wanted to pull a stunt over his mother's house and he couldn't do it while husband was still around. He wanted him to go back to living in Australia without me. It didn't work. We're still here 23 years married. So what was your boyfriend's brother's reason for not wanting you two to marry? I'm not sure actually. All I know is that he's been upset since the whole ring thing. So I'm guessing it's because we are getting married. So I'm spitballing based off limited information from the 2 posts, but I think it's genuine envy. He only listed 2 examples, with an 8-year gap between of when the brother has dated anyone. Meanwhile, you and your boyfriend have had a multi-year relationship where the entire family loves you and accepts you as one of their own. So I think brother has been stewing in jealousy this entire time from watching this play out, while having no partner of his own. Now that your boyfriend wants to propose to you, the jealousy has boiled over into full-blown envy. Brother wishes he had a relationship like his brother's, but he doesn't. So now he wants to take what your boyfriend has, but replacing you with his own girlfriend. Which is why brother is giving this ultimatum. It isn't enough for him to have a loving relationship of his own. He needs your boyfriend's relationship to end so he can feel better about himself / his own relationship. I don't think it was ever about the girlfriend itself. next story is titled, My sister, 30 female, broke my fiancé's 27 male wrist and now he won't marry me, 26 female, unless I cut her and the rest of my family out of my life. We have been together a little over 3 years and have a 1-year-old. Our relationship has been kind of rough because he has issues with employment and his mental health. We got into an argument recently and he left. He was gone for a few days, so I asked my sister to watch my daughter while I was at work. But I had to leave early because he came back and she wouldn't let him in. My sister started interrogating him about where he was and if he had illegal substance on him. He used to do them. My fiancé got defensive and asked her to leave. She wouldn't, and it turned into a big argument and kept putting his hand in her face. So she grabbed it and bended his hand back really hard and snapped and broke his wrist. I had to take him to the hospital and begged him not to file a report. Now my fiancé has given me an ultimatum. Either cut out my sister or he's going to leave. He wants me to cut out the rest of my family too because they heard what's happened and they're on my sister's side. They think he provoked her and brought up all the stuff he did in the past as an excuse, and why I don't need him. But I want to stay with him because our daughter needs her father and our problems can be fixed. But I don't want to cut out my family either. I know my sister and family are looking out for me, but I can't have them always going after my fiancé or him after them. How can I keep both? Edit. He answered some questions in the comments. I knew he had issues when we met, and I wasn't willing to work through them. I was a mess myself when we met, and I've been working on myself a lot. He just has to get there. This relationship sounds insanely toxic and beyond broken. There's nothing to save here. That said, in this particular instance, he's not wrong. She tried to keep him from entering his own house and then attacked him. But honestly, it's beyond a point. A relationship doesn't progress to this point of chaos unless it's been dead for a long time. Your daughter will be much better off if the two of you focus on peacefully co-parenting. Being raised in a toxic environment is way worse than being raised by parents who aren't together. Absolutely. I could see me and my ex going downhill fast. We agreed the best decision was to split, for my kids' sake. We now get on fantastically, and split parenting 50-50. She's the happiest kid you could ever see. Never stay together for the kids. They know. They learn bad habits and they think it's normal. Your fiancé left after an argument for a couple days? That's not how an adult handles an argument. He sounds flighty. And the fact that he's given you an ultimatum just shows you that you need to stick with your family. They sound like they can support you better than a father who leaves their fiancé and child for a couple days. Now for the last story. Girlfriend 26 thinks she can do better. I told her to go for it. I, 26, have been with my girlfriend 26 for over 6 years. We met at a mutual friend's birthday party, and the next day she hit me up on Snapchat. She got my Snapchat from the mutual friend. After that, we went on a few dates, and since I wasn't feeling it, I called it off. We were out of contact for about a year. We again met at a local multimedia institute and were in the same class. Long story short, after a few months we started dating and we have been together ever since. The last 6 years have been fun, and I have enjoyed this being with her. We are currently in a rough patch. Last week we had an argument over petty stuff and she told me that she can do better, and I should be more grateful. I told her that the door's right there, and I don't need her. And if she thinks she's some sort of a prize, she's mistaken. Yeah, I know I said stuff I probably didn't mean, and it was just in the heat of the moment. She left, and after that I low-key thought our relationship had ended. I didn't try to contact her. A few days ago, she asked me if I wanted to say something to her via text. I didn't bother replying. Today she apologized via text, and that how sorry she is and didn't mean what she said, blah blah. I don't know what to do. Still hurts what she said, and I don't know if I want to feel this down the line again. Anyone here who has tried going back from a situation like this? Any advice? I want to try to fix things because otherwise 6 years would be wasted, but I'm very doubtful about our future. I haven't replied to her yet, but I know soon I have to if I want to either fix things or end them. What do you guys think? I know I said messed up stuff and so did she. Please dial down to hate. Edit. I'll start by apologizing and doing what's right. I do owe her an apology for what I said since she apologized for what she said. Other than that, I don't know much. I'll talk to her, and if I feel like this is something I want to be in and she is also on the same page, we will try to sort it out. You know what's worse than wasting 6 years of your life with someone? Wasting 7 years. Yep, that time has already passed. There's no point investing more time if that is the only reason you want to stay. And it's not totally wasted. Probably learned some things and grown as a person and partner in those 6 years. but sometimes you grow apart. OP, if you want to work on it for the positive parts, that's fine too. But don't stay just because it's been X years. That's not a reason to stay. Why would ending it be a waste? To me, you already made your mind. You didn't contact her and don't really want to continue this relationship. The previous 6 years together for the most part have been good. Not trying seems like a waste. I'm feeling very conflicted at the moment. If you enjoyed that time together, it wasn't a waste. Staying with someone because you've been with them for that long is a bad reason to stay. So the question you need to ask yourself is, do you want to continue this relationship or is it over? Both of you said some messed up things. This relationship is over. As you stated, you want to save this relationship because of the 6 years invested, not because you still love each other. Don't fall a victim to sunk cost fallacy.
Update. Am I the a-hole for asking my sister to give me my money back after her husband made fun of my wife's scars? Original post. My sister borrowed money from me almost a year ago for her husband's surgery and healthcare. They couldn't afford it, so when my sister asked me for financial help, I was hesitant. But I helped her because she's my sister, and helping her husband would mean helping her as well. I told her back then that I was hesitating, but I would help. She said she'd return the money in 3 months, but she didn't. And I didn't ask her either. So now I brought it up again. I wasn't planning on asking for the money back, but her husband made fun of my wife's scars. My wife has small scars on her hand. It's not serious, just small scars she inflicted on herself when she was 15. I was with her back then and put a stop to it. We are both 27 now, and my brother-in-law made fun of my wife when he asked her if she's still childish and told her to cover up her hands because it's unpleasant for everyone. Both of our families were speechless, and my wife was as well. I said when we are young we do dumb stuff, and he's too drunk so he should just shut up. He got a bit more aggressive and said that it's still unpleasant and my wife should cover up. I retaliated in my anger and told him that my wife will start covering her scars when he gives me my money back. To be honest, I get angry easily, and I wanted to insult him. My wife was holding me to stop, but I told her to shut up. I ended up telling him that he's a poor man and weak who couldn't even afford his own surgery and had his wife beg for money from her brother. He got even more angry and said he will give me my money. I said, do it right now, but you can't because you can't even walk properly. Our families were interfering and my sister was crying. I shut my mouth because I didn't want my sister to cry. Since then, my sister has been asking me to apologize because I hurt his ego and he's in a foul mood and depressed. I told my sister that I will never apologize and he needs to apologize to my wife. I also asked her that both of them owe me money, and I want it back as soon as possible, and I don't care if they are poor. Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Not the a-hole. Okay, telling your wife to shut up is not okay, but I also get the fact that you are defending her and wanted to hurt him. I get the anger when it comes to protecting family. When someone goes low on my family, I scrape the barrels of hell. Agree, not the a-hole. And I expect telling your wife to shut up was heat of the moment. I will say I'm like you can mess with me, but you leave my wife and family out of it. Because if you do, karma will break you, and I am karma. You do not go after family, in-laws, etc. He is weak and had no respect for your wife. I could care less. I will defend my wife because she has more class and respect for family in her fingernail than he has in his body. Call the debt. He is weak and he can't afford the checks his body is trying to cash. Not the a-hole. Your brother-in-law can dish it out, but he can't take it. He should try to be more respectful to someone who was kind enough to loan him money and not ask for it back after 4 times the agreed timetable of repayment on the loan had expired. You have your wife's back at the end of the day. We're Scottish, and the stuff we say to each other on a good day in banter is sometimes wild. Come at us for real, and we'll drag you like an empty tracksuit. Yes, right? I have my wife's back and my wife has mine, and I didn't even insult my brother-in-law as much as I wanted to in order to inform respect of my wife and my sister, and basically my whole family. My wife can tell me to shut up. She tells me to shut up even when she's the wronged one. So why exactly is it a problem for everyone here about the shut up part? My wife and I don't care about the shut up part. I am not a Scot, but in my language, shut up is not a huge problem. Yet people here are acting like I am a huge freaking villain who wants to hurt my wife, and some clown even mentioned ho. Like, seriously? Now for the first update. It's an update for those who don't want to read my previous post. My wife has some small self-harm scars from her childhood, and my brother-in-law insulted my wife and asked her to cover them up. When I couldn't tolerate the disrespect, I asked him to give me the money I lent him for his surgery and health care. My wife told me today that my brother-in-law called her and apologized to her, so I shouldn't ask for the money because they can't afford it and I should forgive them. I told my wife that he's taking advantage of her kindness, and he apologized to her because he can't afford to pay. He insulted her in front of everyone, and we deserve a public apology. My wife said that she's forgiven him and doesn't want the money back, and that they need that money more than us. I told her to stay away from this and let me do my thing. I will ask them again and again until they pay, but my wife said she doesn't want to, and I shouldn't either. She said I should be the bigger person, since my brother-in-law apologized and she's forgiven him. Actually, I don't care if I get my money back. I am just using it to get back at him. I want to humiliate him, just like he humiliated my wife in front of our families. But my wife doesn't want that. So am I the a-hole if I ask for my money and go behind my wife's back? Your wife is the injured party of the words. Let her decide what happens. He should apologize in front of everyone though, since he insulted her in front of everyone. Then tell him one more negative comment, and the money becomes payable immediately. Consequences if he does it again. My wife isn't the only one who's injured, I am as well. And he definitely should apologize in front of everyone. And maybe if he did, I would have forgiven him for insulting my wife. But it's my money, and I think I have the right to ask for it, and I would have if my wife didn't stop me. But she's all about family and helping family. Her kindness and love for family blind her so much that she would even forgive someone who disrespected her in front of our families. Though our families didn't take my brother-in-law's words as disrespect because my brother-in-law was drunk and he's frustrated because he can't even walk properly. They should pay you back because you let them borrow from the kindness of your hearts. I totally get where you're coming from, but the family drama is probably stressing your wife out. I think her mental health and happiness is more of a priority than humiliation. The humiliation could also make her feel guilty, even though it's not her doing, but technically it's because of her. Love that you're defending her though. By the way, your sister's husband is the a-hole. Definitely OP should never give or loan them money ever again. I think brother-in-law torched that bridge. We can hope. I've seen posts where idiots keep giving someone who is known to be unreliable with money, and then they act surprised when they're not paid back. Yeah, probably best to go with what your wife is asking for here. That's what I am thinking as well, and it's not like I have a choice, I think. I know she's too soft, but how could she forgive him so easily after she was humiliated in front of everyone? We should retaliate, or at least she should let me. And it's been a year, and if I get my money back, we could use it for trips, or I could buy jewelry for her. Didn't you already humiliate him publicly when you called him out for owing you money? At some point, you're just going to turn everyone against you because you're no longer the wronged party, but the bully. A bigger bully than your brother-in-law. Second update. After my brother-in-law made fun of my wife and my wife's insistence that I should forgive and forget about the money, we had major disagreements and argued about it. I said I won't escalate anymore and I won't humiliate him for humiliating us, but it's fair that I ask for my money back. It's my money and they should pay, right? My wife said she wants no escalation and wants to let it go. It's up to them if they pay us back on their own, but we won't ask them to or force them like I was planning. I told my wife that we could use that money. It's ours and we could use it. But she said she doesn't care anymore. He's family and I should forgive him. I said she's angry and she wants me to let it go, so she's in charge of the money. It's her decision whether she wants it back or not, but I never want to see my brother-in-law ever again. And if he pulls something like this ever again, he'll need another surgery on his other leg as well. I called my sister and told her that if she ever plans to give me the money I lent her, she should give it to my wife because I don't want anything to do with her or her pathetic husband. So yeah, that's about it. My wife is happy with my decision, but I am still pissed about everything that happened in these weeks. I've watched enough daytime court TV to know a gift is a gift and can't be taken back LOL. But making comments about him being too broke to take care of himself is free game. I did. I insulted him about being broke and not being able to pay back, and can't even walk properly anymore after I saved his life. I wanted to insult him more, but I can't because of my wife. I kinda resent her for her decision, but if it makes her happy, then I will just let it go. I'll just think of it as another expense for my wife. I am sure I will never see my money ever again. If it's making you resent your wife, it doesn't sound like you can just let it go. Your feelings should have equal importance to your wife's, especially since this involves your money and your family. Maybe you need to have another talk with your wife. If it were her money and her family insulting her, I would say okay, but that was your money and your side of the family. You deserve a say, and your wife should respect you enough to let you handle your money and your side of the family how you see fit. Your wife needs to see she needs to be team you guys, and not just all about letting people trample on the both of you just to avoid confrontation. Hopefully your wife will come around and you can move past the resentment. I do not resent my wife. I can't resent her, but I resent her decision. My wife has made her decision, and my opinion over hers doesn't matter to me. She wants to forgive him and forget about the money he owes me. She's in charge now. If my sister and her husband want to pay us back, they'll pay my wife, and I will avoid confrontation. I don't want to talk to my sister or her pathetic husband. My wife will, and I hope she doesn't get insulted again. Lending money to anyone, family or not family, is always a gamble. We have no idea if the recipient will be grateful or not. If possible, do try to get the money back. It was a loan and not a gift. After that, go low contact with your sister and no contact with your brother-in-law. Oh no, I am 100% sure that they won't pay back, and even if they do, my wife will never accept it. She has always been a soft woman. Consider it a cheap price for being free of them forever. They sound awful. Last story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to sign over my half of a property until I get legal security? I co-own a property with my sibling in the Caribbean. The property originally came with a big debt, and for years my sibling worked hard to pay it off. They eventually cleared the debt, and now they want me to sign over my half so they can have full ownership. The understanding made years ago was that I would give up my share, and in return I would inherit another property from our parent. But the problem is that my parent has never transferred that property to me, nor put anything in a legal will. Now my sibling is pressuring me to sign everything over immediately. They say I'm being greedy, that I'm holding them back, and even that I'll ruin a bank deal if I don't give in. My parent isn't supporting me either. They say I don't deserve the property, that I should be grateful for anything I get, and they refuse to put anything in writing. The truth is, I'm not against signing over my share. I just want a legal guarantee that I'll actually receive the property I was promised. Without that, I risk losing my half of the property and ending up with nothing. Here's how things really started. Years ago, when I was still a minor, the family made a verbal agreement. The deal was that my sibling would get this property, and I would inherit my parents' house after they passed. I agreed, but only if my parent made a will naming me as the sole inheritor. That will never happened, even though I've asked for it many times. Now I'm in my 20s and studying abroad. I haven't been involved in managing this property at all. I only recently learned that I still had legal rights to my share. Up until then, I thought I'd already given them up. Last week, my sibling told me to sign my half over immediately. I said I would, but only if my parent made an official notarized will giving me the house. Instead of agreeing, they set new conditions. I could inherit the house, but I'd have to cover all funeral costs. I agreed to this. I would have to allow any family member who needed housing to live there. This I don't agree with, because it means I'd take on all responsibility, but have no control. As a compromise, I offered to sign a contract where my sibling could move forward with their half and even start building, while I hold my half until I legally inherit the house. To protect them, I suggested a clause that I can't sell my half or do anything with it in the meantime. If I don't inherit the house, then they'd buy me out at fair market value. That way, both of us are protected. But my sibling and parent rejected this. They say I'm being manipulative and greedy, and that I should just trust them and give up my rights now, even though that could mean waiting 30+ years with no security. I don't want more than anyone else. I just want fairness and legal security before giving up my share. Now for the top comments. Info. What money have you put into the property? Or was it inherited to you? You say your siblings have been paying off debt. Was that debt attached to the property? If they have been paying the debt attached to the property for years while you haven't, yes, you're the a-hole. Also, your parents are correct. You are not owed an inheritance. And you won't get one if you don't have a good relationship with them. But this is missing a lot of information to make a call on whether you're being unreasonable or not. And this being Reddit, I'm skeptical of the missing information. I fully agree with you, and that's why I'm struggling so much with this. I was a minor at the start of the entire process, and am now a student. I'm not financially able to pay anything, and understand that my sibling worked for this, even if we are both being gifted something. The property had debt attached to it that my sibling managed to minimize by a lot, and then paid off. I recognize all of their efforts, and that's why I didn't want to put up a fight in the first place. My only condition was for them to help me secure what we all agreed on when I was a minor, my parents' house fully left to me upon their passing, in exchange for the full rights to the other property. When things got sketchy with my parent, I proposed a contract that I believe is fair and would protect my sibling while protecting me, but they didn't want that because it would take too long and I would be blocking their progress. I know I'm not owed anything and I agree, but I only want what was promised to me and what I believe is fair, but that's becoming a fight now too. Not the a-hole. Trust me, bro, isn't a legal document. Get it in writing first. They aren't even saying that. They seem really clear that they are not giving OP more property. They don't think OP deserves it. Yeah, even if they get a new will to appease OP, they could just change it again after the deal is done. Nobody will screw you over faster than family. Ain't that the truth?